Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ZSR, and welcome on this Saturday evening to the A Link to the Past All Dungeons RMG monthly, more like bi-weekly race. Should rename that. Welcome to the stream and welcome to the race. True Racers at the ready, together with our comms with Malno and Chex. Take it away.
Hello, ZeldaSpeedRuns. Welcome to All Dungeons RMG. Post-league people who haven't burned out on All Dungeons are playing in this race. There are two of them.
Hey Malmo, I'm Chex Human, and this is a race. This is a monthly race, and we have restricted major glitches. So we will be seeing out-of-bounds clips and many other medium glitches.
Still very different from RMG, but you're also still mostly playing the game for the most part. You're doing the dungeons, and you're doing the dungeon bosses. You're going through some walls, but you're not going through all of the walls. You're not going into the floor.
Right. One thing about RMG is we're not allowed to use EG, which most of the time means we're not allowed to swap layers. In other words, travel vertically, because there are basically two layers to A Link to the Past. But anyway, our runners are off.
The run's going to start with something that looks like EG, but it's not, because there's no layers in the overworld, so they're actually just going to use the thing that would normally give you EG to become invisible and go through a sprite to escape the castle.
There are layers, but the sprites are on the upper layer.
Oh, interesting.
Overworld EG allows us to travel underneath them.
It is EG.
It is EG.
Oh.
But we allow it.
We allow it. Overworld gets exceptions for a lot of things.
So, but obviously it sounds like I'm saying two things at once. The overworld just has powerful walls. Like, EG in the overworld does not allow us to clip, because walls are walls no matter what layer you're on.
They're in all the layers.
Yes.
The walls themselves are in EG.
Yeah. So, what do we remember about our routes of our two different runners, Tam and Mr. Buyer?
I hesitate to assume anything about what either of them is running, because both of them are known for running experimental routes.
Yes.
I kind of expect to see a pretty straightforward Requiem basement clip route from at least Tam, if not also Mr. Buyer. The splits look like that. I mean, I see Mr. Buyer split, say, Eastern Hammer, Escape Hookshot, which is the order that you do them in when you are doing basement clip late instead of early. With Tam, actually, their splits say Bottle, Eastern Pod. They're doing a world record route.
Yeah.
Early basement clip.
I love it.
Okay. Tam was not on the pixel, but then adjusted to it. Mr. Buyer was not on the pixel and has to rearm EG, which loses about 30 seconds. Another thing I've noticed, this may be spoilers, but, I can see splits, and Tam splits does say some things about the dungeon order in the late game that are not the same as the world record route.
Yeah, Shrek, it does not seem to be in its normal location, which is not in this video game.
The one that stands out to me is that Desert is being done before Mire. I think there might be some kind of flippers after Desert, or flippers after Mire, maybe. No, this is just basement clip with some,
late hook route.
Dungeon. Yeah, late hook route, but with the early hook, because the hook isn't early in the splits.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Buyer gets long, which is necessary for storing the type of damage that you need to get EG from the zapper on the top of the castle. So if you just went in without the long state, you would get hit by the zapper, but it wouldn't deal knockback. It would just hit you for damage, and you wouldn't go into the EG state that you need to be in.
Wait.
Tam didn't get the bottle. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Did Tam just have a split called bottle because somebody named it that just to be confusing? Are we being lied to? Or did they get the bottle and I didn't notice?
No, they didn't get the bottle.
15-second gold, I think, or I don't know if that's a 15-second gold or just 15 seconds on PB, but it suggests that maybe they do normally get the bottle in this split, and they just didn't this time. Not feeling it.
All right, so we have on Mr. Byers' side the citrus clip, and it's a shortcut. We don't have to do it, so
it's not a
getting
shortcut
it wrong,
anymore.
Yeah, it's unfortunately losing time, but we still want it to happen.
We don't do this to save time. We do this because we hate doing the Eastern stairs.
That is true.
It reduces the pumping you have to do on this screen, which is a noble goal.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, sword buffers are not working out for Mr. Byer. He will go for select buffers, which offer more control, depending on how you define control. But it is a more careful way of doing it, and he gets it. Cam gets through the anti-fairy skip and gets the bow. Oh, I didn't see the big chest time. We can see what time we get after opening the big chest because the skeletons are on a timer.
Wait, what?
Tam's goal in leaving that room is to see no movement from the skeletons.
Oh, that's right. It's like the anti-fairy room. Look at Tam actually reading the RNG and adjusting to it. In this room, instead of just firing an arrow with the power of hopium.
Yeah, I would fire an arrow and then try to use a load state command because I thought I would think I was practicing when I mess it up.
That's pretty good. What happens when you use load state command in vanilla? What item do you end up using?
Just a select buffer. And your bow. It's a Y press as well.
So it'll just look like you're flailing with the bow.
Yes. And then pausing. And I have done that one time in a randomizer race. You might remember this.
Did you also click swap to mirror?
I crashed the game.
What?
It was toward the end of a no logic race in the room before Trinex. I tried doing a hook push and I accidentally used a command that loaded state, and I had a save states on.
You actually had a save state. Oh no! And I tried to load something that didn't. Oh, Mr. Byer, please don't die in this room. Which one is it?
Ooh,
it's that one.
We got it right.
We have to play the shell game in Gifted with Greenies. He almost died to a popo. You need to be very careful weaving around them. He also has to be careful in the cannonballs room. Being on half a heart here is a little scary. It's a good adjustment for Mr. Byer as well. It looks like that little jog set it up so that the Stalfos was next to him. You could throw the pot at it. So if Tam didn't get the bottle, Are they going to go to pod and get the hammer and leave? Or are they just going to... I'm assuming that's what they're going to do. Oh, they're getting the bottle now. What the heck? They forgot. I think that's what happened. I think they forgot the bottle, and now they need it. But they don't have a... Wait a minute. They don't have a potion. They just have a bottle. Alright, we'll see what happens. Looks like they were also considering getting the book. I don't think that's fast. Well, I think getting the book now might be good because you could get ether earlier. You don't have the sword yet. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad, but it just...
It's an empty bottle, so I wonder what the plan is.
Yeah. We will find out. This is the mystery behind the race. We don't know what Tam will do at any given moment.
I think if they wanted to get a potion, they would have had to farm 150 rupees in Kakariko Village. I don't think there are 150 rupees in Kak without going into Blind Hut over and over again. There's like a few bucks, but there aren't that many. The only thing I can think of is that they Houlihan off the mountain. and then rescue Zelda and then go to pod.
I like it.
If Houlihan off the mountain, they'll be in the okay, I'm not doing that. Oh.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Silvers.
Really make sense. It would put
silvers. We're gonna throw the bottle in the fountain.
Oh yeah,
you get a green potion for free.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know if that's faster than going to the potion shop. It probably is. Actually, yeah, it probably is.
This is
because you only lose. It is a long.
Clever.
You do lose a lot of time when getting the green potion because it takes there's a long delay before you throw your item in, so it's like something like 20 seconds or so. And we know that.
Go ahead.
We know that the post-Eastern collection is like 30 seconds or 35.
You also have to consider that the pre-Eastern collection is being done after Eastern, which might be faster. I don't know if it's faster.
Actually, I don't think it's 35. Yeah. Don't listen to me. I don't know which it is.
This is a long wait to get the second one, and you have to go through all these text boxes.
But yeah, this is definitely the long wait. Mr. Byer walks to the pixel, I think. Nice Kiki skip there. It's interesting seeing Tam get silvers and Mr. Byer. Is Mr. Byer getting silvers? I didn't see. So. I didn't see a misplaced portal. Yeah.
I didn't either. I think he just went in to pod. I think he's doing a pretty straightforward Requiem route. Which is get the hammer only, and then come back later with the cane and do basement clips. You're committing to the route you would do if you hadn't missed basement clip the first time you tried. You get some of that time back by not getting the bottle, and then also by if you don't hover, you would have to walk through the maze. Like, Tam would have to walk through the maze. I don't think they hover reliably enough to be able to do that clip. It's pretty hard to hover reliably on emulator.
Mr. Byer lines up dash to the hammer jump pixel. Maybe goes one frame or so too much. He didn't trust that bomb, apparently. There he goes.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but he didn't. I trust him more than I trust my eyes. So.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm making good use of the silvers here. I guess we'll see in some way how much time is lost after this pod split is finished, assuming that the basement clip is successful. Like, actually, we'd have to see, because this is... we're doing the escape in the pod split right now. There's going to be some skip splits, and then after escape, quote, escape, which is actually pod, then we'll see what the time difference is.
I don't think we'll see a skipped split. I think every split is representing a different split than we expect.
So you're saying that Tam is just obscuring the route with names. Imagine changing names of things to pretend to be other things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact that these are golding, which tells me that this route was actually originally intended to be the route that it says it is. Like that we're a minute and 42 seconds ahead of PB tells me that we're probably just doing a different route than the splits were originally intended for. Both of them get different weapons to use. And did Tam just walk to the pixel?
No, Tam did a diagonal walk.
That's no fun. I definitely didn't lose in Master Card PB by trying to walk to the pixel and failing. Today. Oh yeah. No, the guard.
I still need to do science on that.
Oh, one thing Tam had to do that Mr. Byer didn't is kill the ball and chain guard. Yeah. Tam hadn't been to pod yet to get that free big key. So, big key of cave state. Well, instead of giving you the pod big key, because you're not actually in pod, we'll give you Tam's in pod. What?
Yeah.
Why is Tam in pod?
Oh, I don't know. Why not, I guess.
Why did we have a bottle?
For something else.
Stairmaster. Oh my gosh. I can't think of anything else. Tam is pulling us around by... I don't know what you call it. Like, pulling us around by our ears right now.
Yeah.
What's the word? Leading us by the nose? Somebody must know the phrase I'm trying to think of. Like, we don't know where we're going. We're just along for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tam has a potion, which I thought was going to be used for basement clip, but we're not doing that. We're just doing pod normally. And the potion is for something else, which is probably some kind of basement clip nonsense. Or, sorry. You know what it might be? You know what it might be? It might be Thieves Town Big Key.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. This is going to be fun. Well, we'll explain it as it happens, because I don't want to predict what Tam is going to do, because I just make a fool of myself every time.
I also don't think it'll be Thieves Town Big Key. But I also agree with you at the same time.
Tam threw a bomb, because you don't actually need to open this door.
Right.
That's some NMG muscle memory.
Right.
Noted NMG runner Tam. Actually, it might be partly basement clip muscle memory. If you're doing something where you normally have to go through the maze, you do want to bomb that. If you're not hovering.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I think if you're not hovering, you should just not bother with that route and just do basement clip with the cane, but it is technically faster even without hovering, if you can pull it off.
It looked like Tam could not dash from that red beetle that was coming after them.
Maybe
so they safely walked away.
Maybe they had some, like... Oh, I was going to say winning frame rules, but they just chose to walk instead. Yeah, you can start to see the time ticking now for the escape. And then I don't even want to look at the timer anymore, because I think the splits that they're running against are, first of all, not their PB, and second, are they not their PB? Maybe they do have a 112. I thought they had like a 111, but maybe I'm wrong. It's not going to have the pod big key in it.
I'm sure it's lower.
Oh, this is a great menu situation. Menuing.
Nice bomb strat for Tam. I call it OK Bomber.
I like OK Bomber. That's a great name. It's a reference to the other strat called OK Boomer.
Yeah, because of Boomerang.
But you don't usually get the Boomerang here anymore, because you usually do escape after pod. Well, I completely missed Mr. Byers' early hook, but it appears to have been successful.
It was. Yeah, that's a nerve-wracking part of the run. We were kind of focused on other events, but Byer got it. And I do want to mention Tam got the key dash going into Helma.
Oh, lovely. I love that key dash, because it's just a visual cue read that you do when you're in there. You're either on or you're not. There's 2 key dash pixels you can be on.
Yeah, they got the
grid.
Easier one, IMO.
I think I also agree with that being the easier one. I don't even know which one it was, but there is definitely an easier one and a harder one. The teddy bear room. Oh no, Mr. Byer dies. It's not the worst death. He does have to remember to mirror, but Mr. Byer has proven to be pretty world aware, so he's very likely to remember to fix his fake Dark World when he exits. Because when you die in a Dark World dungeon and you haven't beaten Aga 1 yet, the game just puts you back in the Light World, and his next overworld screen transition will put him in the Light World, and he needs to stay in the Dark World after this. He doesn't need to fix it now. It's not urgent. There are places where it is urgent, and you have to fix it before fighting the boss. This is not one of those places. Mr. Byer missed his god pixel, couldn't have done it anyway because of the RMG.
That was a good escape at the end. Nothing was in his way on the left side. Tam is doing something.
Tam is doing mirror wrap DMD. So I think this is, in fact, some kind of Thieves Town big key situation.
You can't unwrap the camera. There we go.
There we go.
Tam wants to go up to the bumper ledge spot.
Wow, this is pretty interesting. Yeah, they have to fix their camera enough so that when they take this transition... Well, they have to just, be synced up. They're doing some kind of mirror-assisted teleport thingy. It's not really a teleport, but... Mirror-assisted clip, which lets them do essentially the new DMA. But they're doing it in the Dark World.
I love that.
And now they're in the bumper cave screen, that is.
They went Super Bunny, right?
Yeah. So what happened is they missed. And you would think, they can just grab the heart to get Super Bunny, but that doesn't actually work in Rando. Or it only works in Rando. This is a little precarious. I'm not sure if this will work. Oh, okay. I think it's fine. Let's go. Nice save.
That's interesting. I've never seen that.
You may have noticed
before.
Tam is mirror super bunnying because they need to be able to use the boots to do this glitch, which is called Stairmaster.
Oh. They had to use magic power to be able to use the green potion.
So they probably had the super bunny. That's interesting. So that's something that just wasn't really... I wouldn't have thought of that either.
Yeah.
I would have made it all the way to the door before realizing... The magic that they're missing is also a very small amount for doing Stairmaster. The more magic you're missing, the more time you have to buffer the movement. Okay, they did it though.
There it is. It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not over either. They have to make it through here with the Super Bunny so they can pick up this anti-fairy, or this bunny beam, get hit by it on purpose. Not sure why we're running away from it. They also need to...
There it is.
Wait for the poof before jumping down. You'll lose it, I think. And now, all they have to do is survive Thieves Town.
And blind is down for Mr. Byer, so our runners are not high-fiving at all. They're not even in
No.
the same dungeon.
They are not. Tam will be doing all of these down in cave state because they ate the big key.
Yeah.
And the big key does not give you a Thieves Town big key.
Yeah, we get to take shortcuts like through that hallway where we don't need the key from the pot.
Small keys are free in cave state. You have 255 of them every time you enter a cave.
Right. If we were to pick up that key, it would lock us.
Yeah, you go to
So it would
0.
take us to 0, right?
Ideal. Like, it's okay to get this one because it takes you back to 255. You can actually see that number disappear from the HUD.
Oh. Some damage.
Yeah. This is still Dark World, so Tam has to be careful with the crickets. They're still doing full damage. Pretty important that they don't die here, because if they do, I think it's over.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the backup is. The backup might just be buy a potion and do it again. Or get the Moon Pearl. It's like, they haven't actually gotten the early hook yet. Like, you don't... They could do that, because they got what they needed from here, which is the big key of Hera. So they could get Hera and then finish these by doing another Stairmaster. Another little routing optimization in case state is you can go straight to this chest, get the mitts first, and then as they can safely open these doors, which are the last big key doors in the dungeon, then a death will be less costly. I think they're probably fine. They just get the hearts. Be careful a little bit, but otherwise they're more or less okay. Don't need that key. We already opened all the doors.
And we'll be fighting blind in cave state, is that correct?
Yes, and it won't just be cave state. It will be a little bit bright and trippy looking.
Yep. It'll be LSD blind. That'll keep the door open.
Yep. Oh, we get the iris effect LSD blind. It's
Yeah, this is
pretty
easier.
cool looking. Is it easier?
I think what... Ooh, that's a different one. Ooh, that's neat.
It's neat.
think
I love the way it looks, but it's slow.
I think it can be easier to see the color differences in this method, but it's... I don't know. It just depends.
Blinds himself stands out more against the background. It's not that horrific yellow color. So nothing prowls because we're not in the dungeon. That's why we need the door open. Can't save and quit until you've left the room. So if Tam had missed LSD blind there, they would have to do basically an unbuffered teleport out of the room because they don't have buffers available either. Well,
Right.
they could hammer buffer, I guess. I think that's the item they had equipped.
Or sword buffer?
Oh yeah, sword buffer, of course. You can't select buffer is the issue.
Yeah.
You would just do like a citrus clip would be fine, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No, because all you have to do, you're gonna get stuck in the wall when you exit. You just have to not be in that room anymore, so you can have access to the select menu.
Yep. So there we go. Tam does not need to go to the basement of Hera, just like Bayer. Neither of our runners are going to Hera basement or Desert Main. And that saves a bunch of time.
So it's hard to know like what kind of pace Tam is on because this route is pretty good. Like it's comparable in time to basement clip route. I don't think it's like been timed that thoroughly, but the time that they appear to be behind, I think, matches up with the fact that they have like silvers and also have completed pod. I'm not sure.
I think
Maybe
the
they
theory.
normally.
I think that the rough timing is that it is kind of close to 2020 route.
Okay, so it loses what I guess what you would say a minute and a half to basement clipping.
Yeah.
Optimally, obviously, in like 1 minute to basement clipping with Requiem route. I also think it's harder than basement clipping, but it's also like this is a showcase race effectively for Tam to show this route.
Yep. I'm not sure if it's harder. I would say it's more dangerous.
I think it's
I
harder
mean-
than Requiem route.
I agree generally. Yeah, I agree.
So Tam's Return to Thieves is going to be simply walk in and grab the crystal, and that's where a lot of the time is going to be returned. Because I think this thieves that they're running against might just be like a normal thieves. I'm not sure. Again, I don't really know what these splits are supposed to be.
Well, I think they might. I don't know. I want to say they're close to this route, but they're not, because we already knew that from Pod.
Yeah, pot is different, and the fact that we take out silvers, and the bottle was done in a different spot than normal. I still don't really know why Tam got the bottle when they did. I guess it's adding silvers to the route changed things a little bit. Made it so that maybe it is actually faster to get the bottle later.
I imagine that was a mistake.
They
But-
also didn't seem to know where to go in their CAC, and they were like maybe deciding on the fly if it was worth getting book.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
They turned in that direction and then turned back
Mhm.
and decided it wasn't worth it, which I think is correct because getting the book with the smith is pretty fast. And there's no value to having book early when you can't actually get ether until you've had the sword. And you need the sword from smith.
Yeah. Maybe it was all misdirection. It's all calculated.
Well, Tam is like, I can't possibly run the same route twice. I have to add something to make it different.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We get the time back from Thieves, not actually being a whole dungeon in this split. And now
Yeah.
we're basically on this like 112-ish pace. Assuming that the rest of the run is the same. Because I think the rest of the run is, you know, you have a big key from Pod. The thing that might be different is the silvers. Maybe Tam is actually ahead for having silvers. Maybe they don't normally have them here. The dungeon order on the splits implies that they don't get silvers.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. All right, so Bayer is in a difficult split here. He has to go into Misery Mire. And so he'll be doing a screen wrap from here, Death Mountain, and then he'll be doing the Death Mountain Super Drop, which is going to wrap him all the way to the bottom of the world, basically, because the camera won't change, but Link's global coordinates will. Nice jumps. Oh! Looked like there was a little bit of scrolling on the screen, which scared me. But we're good. We get the Square Rain and Misery Mire, which I always like. And we get a fast scroll. Let's go.
Let's go. Saves 12 frames.
Yes. Oh, of course we're seeing hook smiths from Tam.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. It was a fence stat. Smiths is that a meme or is that real?
Meme. It loses
Okay.
time. But ignore that part.
Memes are allowed in this category. It's NMG, no meme glitches.
Mm-hmm.
That you can't do memes.
Right.
The only meme that's allowed in NMG is Long Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Fox says it might not lose time. Okay, so there is like a theoretical until someone actually times it, possibility to not lose time doing this. I would be more on board with Hooksmiths if Hook helped in this room. Like if you could stun Gibdos with Hookshot, I would be absolutely on board with it.
Right.
However, you can't stun Gibdos with Hookshot. You need the boomerang, so there isn't really value to having Hookshot and the skull split.
That was an interesting play for Mr. Buyer. I like the reaction to slash the slug because it appeared to be in his way.
Yeah, he got
but he didn't have to actually kill it.
Okay. You got like a RNG, I think that sometimes you like get hit by the bomb. I don't quite understand the slug and why sometimes I get hit by the bomb.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like
be careful.
You can't do anything about it, but I know you can. Meyer is basically a consistent split. If you do everything perfectly on script, nothing should go wrong for you.
Yeah, I didn't mention that, but that's very, very much true.
Meyer is basically just a giant blind fight. And if any part of it goes wrong, you're kind of hecked. But you just don't do it. That is a dash line. That was interesting. Is that dash line safe? No, from Buyer. He dashed down the middle lane, not the usual spark lane. It looked like it was good, but it might not be good if the Fire Snake is doing something different. And maybe he was doing an RNG read.
I don't know if that... I think that is to... It's basically... It is consistent, but it's a little bit difficult.
I see.
It's faster than the safe dash.
Because it's not the user dash lines. It was something else.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, no, Mr. Buyer went, instead of going down the lane where you have to walk and wait for the spark, he actually was to the left of that, going between the two railings.
Oh, I see. No,
and there was a fire bar there that I think maybe if you get a different fire bar RNG, that dash down might not be safe.
I think that strat is safe but loses time.
I see. I was just wondering why I'd never seen it before. Okay, why is Tam behind on Skull? Did something happen, or is this Skull should always be the same, right? There's no difference. Surely they didn't lose 2 minutes on the hookshot Smith.
I don't know.
This is the one dungeon. This is the one dungeon that doesn't change.
Right.
Maybe they had some route where they do like Scudge Woods and Skull is just like one thing. They get fire out and leave or something. Yeah, I don't understand. Did I miss a death?
I think it was the hook shot. Tam used the hook shots and it lost 2 minutes.
Okay, I'll believe it. Ooh! It's a little scary. Mr. Buyer had the RNG that kills you if you try to do the 4-heart fight.
I'm scared.
I was scared that was a lightning cycle too. But you must... No, it's not. Maybe he had the, Viddy makes like a shaking sound when it phases.
Yeah.
So you probably could hear that it was actually a real phase and not a lightning cycle.
Well, it shakes visually too.
Oh, also, yeah. I maybe it doesn't shake on my end because of the frame rate or something, or I just didn't notice it. Also, the eyeball can also shake itself if you're a little off, which we learned from you.
Well, yeah.
That would be a good emote. We should isolate that eye going crazy and make it like the like shaking eyes emote. I think that would be pretty funny. I'm not willing to do it though.
Shaking eyes emote?
Like the eyes emote, but it's like blurry, so it looks like they're shaking. Or they're actually shaking.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Oh, Tam had a not quite doing say ether.
Yeah. My I caused that to happen because I was to the right of where you normally are. So the eyeball looked to the right.
Yeah, it was interesting. The eyeball was looking to the right every time the screen was shaken in the direction. Like,
Yeah,
I think that's what was happening, right?
I think so.
Oh, we're doing old school skull. Let's go. Or old school. I guess mountain gets its own split. This one. I always run this and say I should do a separate split for mountain versus desert, but then I never get around to it.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that splash before.
Oh, I've seen every splash that you can do on the screen.
Ah, gotcha.
So the screen escaping the desert portal is kind of dangerous no matter which route you take.
Yeah, it's scary.
Speaking of scary, also, Mr. Byers' ice rod map wrap went well. You'll know if it didn't. If it didn't go well, his run is over.
Yeah. One straight D-pad input, and it's a infinite scroll.
It's hand mirroring on the left side of Desert Rocks. I'm still not sure where you're supposed to mirror when you have the big key. I think you want to mirror on the right side, but I never timed it. Because traditionally we mirror on the left side because we have to go into the front of Desert to get the big key.
Oh.
Tam
Yeah,
will have to...
I don't understand. That just causes you to travel to the left.
Yeah.
Extra. I
And
don't
you
know
can still
what.
quick warp on the right side, so it's not that.
Yeah.
Mr. Byer is going to have to open the pod door later in the run because he did steal the key. So he takes advantage of having Samaria here to make it a little bit easier.
But Bayer has already gone into pod 2 times. Are you saying he'll go into pod a third time?
Yep. There'll be 3 pods. This is pod number 2. He does pod 2 and TR, and then pod 3 for some magic refill optimization.
Bayer collected 600 rupees. Why is that?
That's a good question. I don't think he meant to. He only needs 500. Bayer had a missed input there that didn't ruin the trick. He didn't have to redo that Samaria section.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed what you're referring to, but there is a lot of leeway in this trick between 1 or 2 frame movements if you know what you're doing.
He came out of the Samaria, one of the steps, facing the wrong direction, I think having not actually clipped any amount. And then he was like grabbing the railing facing down. So he didn't pop out, which is the failure mode you really don't want. But he did have to redo that one step.
I see.
Survivor is slowly gaining time. He's not running against PB. He's running against my PB, apparently. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it kind of hurts to be behind 2 minutes right at the beginning, but to save 30 seconds after being 2 minutes behind is a good feeling, at
He's
least.
getting some route golds, but this split is 1 out of 2.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that.
Anything that's green is going to be gold, right? I don't know why. This looks like a pretty normal route. I don't know why he only has 2 runs on it. Or 1 run on it, I guess.
Right, I forgot about that. I was going to ask you about it earlier. I don't know the answer.
I wonder if this was part of his, I do 1 run on every split that I have for this category before League. But when he did qualifiers, he has a lot of splits for different routes he's tried, and he did 1 of each.
Yeah, that was a fun project.
I actually wonder if this was his qualifying time, because I think it was pretty close to a mid 114 when he did. Mr. Pirate getting the fairy. I don't think he really benefits from that fairy. But it worked out, though. I was worried that he would just get hit by the laser beam immediately after and lose any optimization, like refill time that he would have had, or safety that he was hoping for.
Oh no!
No!
That was painful.
Well, that's good that he got the fairy then, because he would have been on really low health going into training. That happened. Oh, Tam's going for the YOLO. I think, is this the YOLO or is this like the one that actually is a setup? It missed, so I'm assuming it's the YOLO. The YOLO is like a 1 in 2 chance, right?
Yeah.
You either gain 2 seconds or you lose 2 seconds, and you also lose magic.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Not ideal.
That was a little,
Two boss fights for both runners.
Yes. Why does Tam have so much health? What the heck?
Well, they have silvers.
Oh, silvers. Oh, they just didn't... Okay. But they did do part of the fight.
Yeah.
Right? They did like 2 spins and then silvers?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that works out.
It's just, they came in with so much health. More than Bayer.
Also true. From doing Desert before Meyer.
Yeah.
And having done Pod.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a heart and a refill from Desert. The Meyer escape for Tam. Always a fun throwback.
This is my favorite trick in the game, actually. I like trying to beat the Zora.
Mm-hmm.
Tam did not beat the Zora, but also didn't really suffer for it. Like, they got hit after doing the clip, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't really any downside to that.
Right.
Yeah, Mr. Bayer gets the Louis Hop.
Very nice. That's the game-winning trick right there.
Saves a million years. Because if you don't get the Louis Hop, you have to deal with dead rocks, and it's terrible.
It's funny to like think about who's ahead here. If we look only at the splits, which may or may not tell us anything about either run, one player is 148 behind and the other is 145 behind.
No,
So
that's true.
we don't
That's
really know.
behind
what-
a 112 versus behind a 114.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Mr. Byers, he really is 145 behind. Tam is
Yeah.
probably has time saving silvers. Like Ganon will save time. So I don't think they had silvers in the run they're running against. I still don't understand what happened in Skull.
They got silvers in Skullwoods. I
They
don't know.
didn't though. Unless did I not notice that Tam taking a death or something? Because I'm pretty sure they just had a normal Skull Woods and then lost 2 minutes
No.
and didn't gain
No,
it
I
back.
don't. I don't actually.
The
know.
only thing I can think of is that they didn't actually save that much time in Thieves. They just skip split or something. Like they split wrong in Thieves, and that time got absorbed into Skull. I don't really understand how that happens because they did split correctly in Thieves exiting. They would have had to split early, right?
Yeah.
Or they split late. They split late in the run they're going against. Like maybe they got tempered and then split or something, or they get tempered in Thieves and then don't get it in. I don't know.
Even then, I think it's not quite enough.
Oh
I
look,
don't
we're in
know.
the same dungeon.
Yeah, we are in the same dungeon. Tam has defeated Argus just now. Mr. Byer is in the main hub, the big chest room.
Isn't Mr. Byra ahead?
I
Tam has
thought
to do-
that
Tam has to
Tam
do
was
TR.
ahead.
Tam has to do TR and Mr. Byra
Tam has
doesn't.
to do TR. Okay, that's a really good point. It is very close then. I could not confidently say who's ahead based on that, though. It's very possible. And then it'll depend who does ice better to see who gets into GT.
It's the fact that Mr. Byra has to do Argus and Swamp Cutscene. Tam has to do TR, and Tam has silvers.
Oh yeah, Tam does have silvers too, yeah. Yeah, so just who is ever first into GT is not going to show who definitely has the advantage.
We will literally not know who's ahead until somebody kills Ganon. I mean, we can.
as always.
I'm sure we can guess. We can see, like, okay, this is a silvers fight behind. Ooh. Okay, there was a 1 cycle.
There's a lot going on here. Nice ice clip for Tam. Oh, they don't get the dash. This is a struggle, this room.
Mhm. I hate using Samaria in this room.
Me too.
I'll do anything to avoid it.
I do it in all bosses, I believe. But I just avoid it in all dungeons.
I avoid it in all situations.
Fair.
Does Tam have enough magic?
It seemed like Tam was thinking about getting the big key. Yeah, I don't know what the magic situation is, to be honest. It looks like they need more than 2 decanters, but I'm not sure.
I think I want to say they used exactly 4 canes, which is the max you can use. I think they used 2 for ice 2 and 2 for icebreaker.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Ice
'cause it's
wrap
good.
is good for Buyer. Yep, they get into ice.
Okay, it is close because it's Byer's ice versus Tam's TR. Ice is the fastest split. Well, maybe not. Maybe desert is. It's the fastest split in the old route.
Yeah.
Fire actually had something go wrong with the bars in that room, which is a pretty rare situation. It's a rare RNG to slash the bar and still get hit by one.
Oh, I missed it. Yeah.
Because you tried to like place the bomb and throw it, and usually you place the bomb, you slash the bar, and then you throw the bomb, and it's fine. But I think he got hit by a different bar when he did that.
Hmm. I'm so glad these runners are in this race and volunteered to be on Restream.
This is such an interesting showcase of routes.
It is. And part of the, like, they don't have to do that. They could just race. And when you race 80 RMG, you could very easily not finish the run.
Uh-huh. When it's only two of you in a race, you're under some kind of pressure to actually finish your run, which is really hard when you have a run like Tam's route, where if you miss the YBA, you just like fail. Or the Stairmaster.
Right.
Rather. Oh yeah, Tam has to get Ice Rod.
Okay,
This
yeah.
Brahmin Ice Rod, it's actually like really fast.
We.
I think this is a faster Ice Rod than the one you do in Desert Palace.
After desert?
Yeah. I guess it's not really in the desert split, but it's in whatever split is after desert, which is variable. So I just think of it as being in desert.
Mm-hmm.
Survivor is a good phase 1.
Uh-oh.
And, you can get hit once. But yeah, this is a party. Oh, it's like all of them have the same amount of hits on them too. Alright, I think we'll be fine. Oh, we're fine. Okay.
There's a hole in that part of the sword swing.
What do you mean?
I just think the hitboxes aren't very evenly distributed. And so when you try to hit an enemy that's up and to the right of you, it's like you would expect the sword slash to be consistent, and it's not.
Is this because Link is left-handed?
Probably. It just has to do with the way the hitboxes are animated, which are kind of uneven. The hitbox of the sword changes shape as Link swings it, and it also moves different distances throughout the swing. I think. I don't know. I'm just going from memory. It looks weird. All right, GT is highlighted for Mr. Buyer, so we're seeing the GT clip.
I think it's safe to say that Mr. Buyer is ahead.
Yeah.
Tam has a lot of TR left. I don't understand why, because of the way the splits. Like, they're still both +1 something, but Tam's PB on these splits is a 112 and Mr. Byers is a 114. So that means Tam is going to inexplicably lose 2 minutes, I guess, on one of these splits. I don't quite understand what's going on with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It seemed like Mr. Buyer, it seems like the way this race was going, Mr. Buyer lost 2 minutes right off the bat. But he's doing a route that saves 1:30 or so, or more, compared to the 2020 route. And then Tam is doing a modified route. Well, it's just sort of a completely...
Tam is just doing a new route.
A completely new route, yeah. And we're not sure how much time it loses compared to basement clip route, but I would guess it would lose 2 minutes. So we're sort of sort of on par.
The only thing I can think of is that it's actually just that Mr. Buyer has a ton of time to save in one of these last 2 splits. Maybe he has 9 blue balls or something. Or maybe he has a death in the GT climb. So I just don't understand how these split times make sense.
Yeah. But it, it could be all kinds of things that I didn't notice, and it could be what I don't know about the route, which is that it might lose a lot of time. Not sure.
That was a little scary for Bayer, the Armos, where he seemed like he was going to lose the cycle, and then didn't have enough arrows to recover from that, but then fixed it by
I like that.
getting the cycle despite missing an arrow.
Good stuff.
So now Tam has all of Enter GT plus the climb, or plus the basement, and the advantage of silvers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pretty significant advantage to Bayer here. Somebody just forget a dungeon. I don't know.
I think what was also pretty costly was the bottle routing for Tam. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that lost a little bit more than I expected.
Probably. Like getting the bottle from the Pyramid Fairy didn't look very fast. And being a little bit lost on the CAC screen, trying to figure out how to recover the route. Mm-hmm. I think even getting silvers was probably Tam's solution to, shoot, where do I get a potion? I guess I'm getting it from Pyramid Fairy, which is pretty smart.
Oh,
so I didn't have an idea.
Saying.
I think the silvers were an on-the-fly reroute to fix the mistake.
Ooh,
you can ask in the interview, though.
This is a very the story of this race has gone places I did not expect.
Mr. Byers scared. I'm scared. Why did you get that bomb though? Maybe he just doesn't know that was a bomb and thought maybe it might be a heart. He has 2 hearts going into G5, which is feels any percent RMG man.
Yes.
I think he should be okay from here as long as he doesn't completely whiff Landmo. He can get a heart for Wizrobes, but I don't think he really needs to because Wizrobes do 4 anyway. It's like if you survive Landmo, the extra heart doesn't matter. Okay, recovered the 2 cycle.
Good final rod shot.
Seems to have decent amount of magic. Yeah, enough to do torches. Opts for the heart. The heart would help for a situation where, for example, you get hit by this guard on the screen. You can get lottoed here.
Yeah.
You can get lottoed on the screen after Wizrobes too.
And lose 3 hearts.
Yeah, basically. Get 1.0'd in the pit and die.
Yeah, getting a drop in Wiz 1 was helpful.
True. I'm still in 1-hit KO from the laser eyes. But if he does the room correctly, it shouldn't be a problem. Oh, gotta wait for the magic.
Refill, yeah.
Okay, so he's getting that heart for safety, because it lets him take 1 hit.
I can't believe that was a block.
Mr. Byers' GT split seems to be a normal amount of time. The time difference must be coming from Aghanim or Ganon. It's like I expect Mr. Byer to still be about 1.5 minutes behind coming out of here.
Ooh.
Oop, okay, good home way. That room can be scary if it goes off the rails.
Yeah. It was not on the rails, but it didn't matter. The train got into the tunnel.
Alright, bit of a difficult Agnum fight. The blue balls. Oh, that could have been a triple. No.
The bouncing skeleton for Tam.
No! Mr. Byre could have slashed that one too. Maybe he expected that to kill Aga and then it didn't.
Alright, we get a Clipe attempt. We'll see if we can save 4 seconds on the cutscene. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah,
Yes.
we did. Very nice.
Very
I
good.
don't know if it was the full 4 seconds, but it was. It looks like it actually did save some time. Is he a Bat Crash Splitter? Because if he is, he's saving time here too. Let's go.
Yeah. Even if not.
Is this a normal Aghanim time? Oh! Oh, I understand now.
You
Mr.
understand
Byre-
something?
Yeah, Mr. Byre has another split after this called Kiki Hop.
Oh, right.
Remember when I said, did somebody
Okay.
forget a dungeon?
Yeah.
Yep. Nobody
We
forgot a
did.
dungeon except me. Mr. Byron
me.
never returned to Pod to kill Homosaur, so he's not actually ahead in this race. He has to do a dungeon after Aga 1. This is his special route.
Yes.
That
Yes.
he says doesn't even really lose time. Or if it does, it's minimal.
Yeah, we know Mr. Byre has timed this. And we're not going to see a Kiki skip, are we?
Nope. We are going to see a Kiki Hop, which is an NMG meme. But it was not going to be an entirely NMG pod. Because we're still allowed to use overworld glitches. So, of course, we are going to use overworld glitches. Mr. Byre timed some things about whether doing pod as your last dungeon, like actually last dungeon, could save time. And he found that the fastest way to get to pod from the Aga screen is to just walk there and then take some clipping shortcuts to get into the maze a little faster than you would in NMG.
Yeah, I imagine, since you mentioned it, you approach it from the left rather than the bottom.
Yes, you clip over some of those walls and it puts you right into the maze screen.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Mr. Byre is a little bit low on HP in this, though. A little concerned.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Aga 1 can... Like, he could just get knocked into the pit by the guard and die.
Yeah,
It's a little scary.
it is scary. But I'm sure we'll be fine.
Mr. Byre eats a little bit of stair drag in that auto stairs. If you are in pit state and you go through the auto stairs, yeah, you want to cancel your stair drag coming out of there with A.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's kind of like Mr. Byre's Aga 1 and Pod versus Tam's Aga 1 and Aga Tower Climb. And then, of course, having the silver arrows. So Tam is ahead. That explains why the splits didn't make sense to me. The splits were telling me that Tam was ahead, but I was seeing Byre and GT first, and it was hard to reconcile that.
Right.
You know how Mr. Byre came up with this route? He was watching me forget to do pod in a run.
Right, okay.
And recover that by running over to pod to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said, maybe we just do this.
Yeah, because you can just save and quit at the end of it, which is a nice route.
Also, do you remember when you were asking why Mr. Byre had collected 600 rupees in Pod Basement? This is why.
I do remember that. Oh my god.
You need them for Kiki, because you still gotta pay the monkey if you're gonna run over there on foot.
Good grief. I can't believe all the clues were there.
It's all coming together. We could have solved this together, and nobody in chat, nobody in commentary figured it out until the Kiki Hop split showed up on screen.
Yeah. For us.
For us, yeah. We have an advantage here. So I wasn't counting blue balls. It kind of looks like Mr. Byre is saving time. By the way, this explains why Mr. Byers' split count is 1 out of 2. Like, he's only done this once.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, here's the clip.
Yeah, we go up.
You go up.
That's right.
You go onto the screen as if you're going to Quake in NG. You clip over here in the slope, and you do some hops to get to the other side. So it's not just Kiki who's hopping, it's us as well. He's even like a flipper, like a splash into the water and a fake flipper. Or a real flipper in this case. It's a pretty cool clip. I don't know how to do it. He developed this for this route.
Oh, I used to do it in overworld glitches for years.
That makes sense. I think I just clipped down from catfish and overworld glitches.
Probably a smarter route than whatever I was doing.
All right, the Kiki hop is low mid.
Yeah, it looked mid to me.
Yeah, it would be
medium.
We would be remiss to not call out what the actual Kiki hop is, and probably the first time anyone has ever paid Kiki in an all dungeons run on Restream. I think one time Vortex of Doom did a race where he just did the NG route with Icebreaker and Diver down. So maybe he was the first. So now it's, Tam is out of Aga 1, and Mr. Byer is in the back of Pod. Yeah, you could still basement clip here if you wanted to, but you need arrows, Byer. Thank you.
Oh no, losing beams is a bummer.
Yeah, he went out of his way to get those 2. You don't need 2, you need 1. He was hoping that was hearts. But it's not. It's only hearts in the other mix room. 1 heart, 1 arrow. This one's 2 arrows. So after all that, Tam is the first one into Ganon. And has saved a decent amount of time. I wonder if that plus 55 will be offset by having silvers.
A little bit. Silver saves about 25 seconds.
Yes, okay. So it's not enough to get like a route PB.
Oh, I thought that was a key dash pixel for Mr. Byer, but also it didn't matter because the door's already open.
Too. Yeah. Do you think this boss fight lags more when you have all these hearts? It feels really laggy right now.
It should, but...
Oh, nice triple for Tam.
I don't know, empirically. And Ganon is down. GG's to Tam.
GG. Nice showcase. This is a really fun race to commentate. It was very surprising.
Yeah, it took more turns.
I come in here thinking I know how the run works, and then both runners proved me wrong.
It's what I was hoping for. There are more twists and turns in our figuring it out than I've ever seen in a race commentary before.
I still haven't solved the mystery of Skullwood inexplicably losing 2 minutes, but I really think it's just that Thieves was... Did I just say Spleebs? That Thieves was split late? Or split early at some point? Like it was just the split was wrong. Because like the time coming out of Skull, the plus 2 minutes, is about on par with the plus 2:27 coming out of Hook. So it was probably just something got split at the wrong time in the PB run.
Right.
So coming out of here for Byer, just saves and quits. Another thing Mr. Byer didn't have to do is he didn't have to fix fake Dark World, which you would normally have to do if you're doing pod this late.
Oh.
He's not in Dark World. He's not in fake Dark World. He's just in Dark. So he just runs over and does it normally. Doesn't have to do any extra mirroring.
That's funny, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
If that will one cycle, I think it will.
I think we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he recovered it with a slash, which is half of a spin. No, he missed the trident spin, but he got one spin and he got a slash, so he could do just like an extra slash in phase 2 and be fine.
Yeah, nice 1-on-1.
He has to do the whole fight though. He's got the no silver arrows. You did lose a little bit of time in pod running out of arrows. There are arrows in Castle Tower you can get if you're low. Okay, that was a little scary. I was holding my breath. Were you holding your breath?
Yeah. Well, not literally, but I was waiting for Fire to get aligned.
Because that knockback for the second spin made it hard for him to get on the torch.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a good phase 4. Oh, misses that one though. And we are joined by Tam. GG.
Thanks.
Nice showcase.
Yeah, before the race, I didn't really plan on joining, so 10 minutes before the race, I quickly ran through a bunch of stuff for the Stairmaster, and then I got to the split and I was like, wait, I didn't practice the mirror app, but then I did the mirror app correctly and I messed up every single other step, so...
Oh
yeah.
The mirror DMD.
GG to Mr. Byer. The things we were wondering about is your early game routing. Did you just forget the bottle, or what happened there?
I very roughly timed bottle after Eastern to be about the same, and I didn't want to bother doing the map rep opening. So
yeah. So that's safer.
So when you say bottle after Eastern, that means that's assuming you're getting silvers, right? Or does it actually save time combined with silvers?
No, you have to get silvers when you're doing it like that.
I see. And then the silvers offset some of the time loss of not doing bottle earlier?
No, I think silvers are just about as slow as normal.
I see. So
It's just
if you're getting silvers, then it's better to get the bottle later and get the refill from the ferry.
I just wanted to stuff as much stuff into a run as possible, so...
It's true. And silvers are comfy. If you can make it through Thieves alive, it's nice to be able to survive the rest of the run, too.
Yeah.
GG, Mr. Byer, you basically had us completely surprised by your route. I didn't realize you were doing this route until the very end.
Yeah, GG. Told you I would bring this back when everyone else forgot about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
It definitely hit me in the face like a wet fish, so,
So we were trying to figure out Tam's route throughout this commentary, but your route we didn't figure out till the very end.
Yeah, I was only listening to the commentary in the background. Sounded like Tam was doing some Stairmaster abuse stuff.
correct.
Wow.
The
Yeah,
thing
I got
was at the end I could see that you were the first into GT, but your splits were telling us that Tam was ahead. And we were very confused by that. And then, of course, I come out. I even asked, hey, did somebody forget a dungeon? Well, I did, apparently. You didn't. You knew exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right, and I mentioned that it is a triple dip pod route, but we forgot to pay attention to the third trip.
Yeah, it's a triple dip pod route either way, so...
Yeah.
Well, it's you know how in NMG you have to mirror and pod a million times, and each time you do something a little different? This is like that, but spread over the entire run.
Yeah.
That's kind of true, yeah. So yeah, that continues my quest of making comms, making it as hard as possible for comms to know who's ahead.
Yes.
Can't even use GT anymore.
I mean, I did
Right.
say that we wouldn't know until somebody kills Ganon, and We kind
Yeah,
of
that's
did.
a
Once
good
we
point.
realized you were doing pod, it was clear that Tam was ahead, but not by that much.
Right. And Tam, the burning question is, what happened to your splits in Bleebstown, where you're 2 minutes behind, then 5 seconds behind, then 2 minutes behind?
Yeah, that was a product of getting the crystal first instead of doing the sword and the rupees first,
Oh, okay.
which I
Ah.
thought that was what I had decided on when I did this run that I'm comparing against, but I guess not.
Because that
Interesting.
would mean that your Thieves Town has tempered sword in it. Would you
Well,
explain why it's like you
part of
inexplicably
it.
saved 2 minutes on it?
Yeah, the part of it where you don't kill any enemies, yeah. But yeah, I did some massive time losses. Other than that, were very real. It was a pretty good run, except for forgetting how to do Stairmaster.
Yeah, I mean, you brought it back at the end. Other
Mm.
than, I
That's
forget what happened
right.
in Ice. I think
I
you
forgot
just
about
had
that.
trouble on Icebreaker and Ice 2, but other than that, like, I see time save in every split after Skull, except for Ice.
Yeah, I think it's like a minute and a half, or maybe just a minute is like getting silvers, and then you save back most of that with silvers, but the I lost like so much time just doing everything wrong with Stairmaster that I had to come back so much more. I could have like
Mhm.
it wasn't really, I don't think I can get like a real PB with this route, but it would have been kind of close.
Do you remember or have a rough timing of how much it saves compared to the 2020 route?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
I just did it once for fun,
Yeah.
and now a second time for fun. It's like, I think it's a fun route, and I don't think it's too slow compared to like Louis route, for instance.
Yeah.
And it's obviously, well, not obviously, but it's simpler than Basement Clip.
It's less tedious, but looks a little bit more challenging and dangerous. It just depends
Yeah.
on what your idea of challenging tricks is, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you add in the mirror app DMD, which is not super difficult, but Hardlock risk is always a pain.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. I think this is a good moment to take over and say thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the race. Always so exciting to see the different routing and how it all works together. It's fun. Nobody does quite the same. It seems to me at least.
Yeah. Especially with these two runners. So it was
Yeah.
great to see.
Yeah. Thanks for showcasing this. Big shout outs to YouTube. Big shout outs to Jax and to Malmo, of course. And big shout outs to the audience. Thanks, by the way, for all the happy partner anniversary messages in chat. There were a ton. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. If not, let us know. And if so, please come back next month. And until then, thank you all for watching. Take it easy. And bye.